Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Robert Poitner, voice of the Lobos, and my yearly guest. I guess that's as easy as I can say it, Robert. Man,
It's an annual rite of passage. Right here at the start of football, we get together.
We started with a sports desk, and we did games together, and I still have your autographed picture. It's right on my kitchen. It's right on my kitchen table, and I look at you every day. So
now that's a scary thought.
I know. I just you're embedded in my head. But anyway, I just.
It's good being with you, man. How are you?
Good. Well, good things happen. Lobos are doing. They started off with a good start.
Good start. Yeah.
And you got a big weekend coming up.
Huge weekend coming up. Yeah, it's exciting. We've been to some cool places. They've been to Texas A&M recently. We went to Wisconsin. A few years back, we went and played at Heinz Field, took on Pitt. But this is different. Going to Notre Dame is different.
I tell you, Notre Dame, I'm going to get to go. So I'm going to be, I won't be in the same deal, but I'm going to be just a fan going in.
A lot of people are taking this opportunity to go with the Lobos. It's
it's a once
yeah.
one in a lifetime dream. Is for I remember I was just telling somebody like almost 30-something years ago that I'll go. That was one of my bucket lists. Like I just want to go. At that time Lou Holtz was coaching, and they were national champions. And I for some reason I just followed Lou Holtz. I mean, that was just something. And then I even just to watch Notre Dame for all these years, so it's exciting.
No, I'm sure I'm going to have chills the first time that we arrive on campus.
Well, the history. Yeah. I mean, I know that you've been studying all week on the history of all.
It's going to be unbelievable. Yeah, it's just going to be unbelievable. I mean, to think that we have a coach of the caliber of Bob Davie here in Albuquerque, and that this is something that, well, basically, it's 5 years in the making, right? And that's when this was done. It was 5 years ago, and we knew this was coming. But now it's here, and it's because of him that the Lobos are getting this opportunity to play this game in South Bend. It's just a shame that Coach does not get to go with us on this trip. But he's doing the right thing. He's going to stay home. He will be with the team this week, though, and he's actually meeting the media.
Well,
as you and I talked today.
Started this morning, and he sounded good, and he was very positive, and just very energetic. It seems like you know him better than I do, but it just seemed like one thing about Bob. Seems like he always has energy.
Oh yeah, and he's going to have his first press conference, since the Sam Houston game. So that'll be later today, and it's just great to see.
Here he is, had some medical, issues, and he's watching the San Diego State. He's breaking down San Diego State against UCLA. I said, once you relax a little bit, that's probably why the reason you're in the hospital. But no, he's already got the.
It's in his DNA. It's in his DNA. No, he's. It's amazing the number of games that he takes in, the number of teams that he's on top of. Obviously, he's scouting teams that we have upcoming on our schedule all the time, but he just watches football all the time.
Well, I tell you, I watch a lot of football, but when he had that San Diego. I didn't have to watch the game. I was just, I was only listening to him for 5 or 6 minutes. He was talking about the third down. The UCLA couldn't convert on third downs, and just seemed like, San Diego got stronger and stronger. And then he starts talking about the league, and there's excitement in this league this year.
Oh, it's been an amazing first couple of weeks for the Mountain West. And now Boise State's in the top 15. I think they're as high as 12th in one poll. So, I can go down the list in both divisions of the number of teams that have already made a big splash here in the first couple of weeks of the year. The Mountain West is on the rise. There's no doubt.
And that's, there's expectations always on the Lobos, but it even makes, there's a little bit of energy, if they can go up and compete with Notre Dame, which, I think, it's not like Notre Dame's just going to walk in there. I mean, just got a victory deal. They're going to have to put the Lobos away because they're so watching the first game. They got some receivers that can just go get the ball.
UNM showed that it was dangerous last year when they had a lead against Wisconsin in the first half, and it was a one-possession game at halftime. They played toe-to-toe with the Badgers in Camp Randall last year for a half. So, their running game kind of wore New Mexico down in the second half, just the sheer size and power of their offensive line. But New Mexico moved the ball on the Badgers, and I fully expect New Mexico to be able to move the ball against Notre Dame. It's just going to be such an atmosphere. That's what everybody says when you talk to them about it. It's not that, Kyle Field is just this massive facility that has been renovated and modernized, and over 100,000 people, at College Station, and that's incredible in its own right. But as a different example, Notre Dame, it's an older stadium. It's what you said. It's the history. It's the atmosphere, the environment that you're going to be in when you go. It's touchdown, Jesus. It's the Golden Dome. It's all those things, and it's going to be amazing.
Is this the first time you get?
Yeah.
To,
No, I've never been.
I've been there and seen the Golden. I haven't been in the stadium and seen it, but people have to understand this is an older stadium, and it's like it's not going to be like a plush. This is football.
Tradition rich, I think, is the best way to say it. Yeah.
Because somebody was saying, hey, there's bleachers and you might get and I think that's what I grew up on. Clovis and Clovis. That's what it was all about. Was going on Friday nights. Was going to the high school game, but this is on a bigger level and. You think of all the movies that have been made. The national champions that's been there. It's something that I know you're looking for, but it's the whole city of New Mexico should be excited about this.
The whole city of Albuquerque, state of New Mexico. Think about the opportunity that the Lobo players are getting too. You know what I mean? These are guys that have dreamed their whole lives of being Division I college football players, and you never know exactly where that's going to take you, and maybe you don't think when you go to Albuquerque, New Mexico, that you might end up at a place like Notre Dame playing a game against the Fighting Irish, but they're going to look across the line of scrimmage at the gold helmets on Saturday, and that's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Well, Robert, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week and come back and talk about Robert Portnoy, the Lobos, and Notre Dame.
Deep across the middle, and it's caught. Malik Phillips dancing away.
In the first half, he's been under pressure all game anyway. Smith back to pass. They're trying to set up the screen to Barker, and they've got blockers in front. Barker cuts it back. Barker in the open field, 40, 45, 50. Barker's got one man to beat. Barker may go to the house, and he will. Caden Barker Jordan Barker touchdown, Carlsbad.
Here we go. Let's see how he does.
Cabrales will kick off from the 40 and
Drives it hard.
And here they try to see that reverse again.
He fakes it.
Oh, he's got it. He's got one man to beat and a blocker in front. 35, 40, 50, 45. He's gone. There's no Hornet that will catch him. Opening kickoff return for Slade Campos. 80 yards and.
Ball falls for Nava, puts it forward for Moyers. Moyers gets it past the keeper, and it's 2-1.
Denard all by himself. They're looking for him. They throw it in the end zone. Underthrown and caught. How about that? Mercy. Trevon Denard. Wow.
It's his night.
It's his night.
Up, uses that foot. No, this time she goes low, and there's a scrum there. The ball's loose, and it's up, and it's in. How about that? Going top shelf.
Good dump and then a good wherewithal to keep it up. There's Jones on a good dig. Martinez. Huggins was blocked into a middle, kept alive and then dumped back over. Let's keep playing, girls. Cross court this time from Cooperno. Jones sets to the outside. McIntosh was blocked. That's knocked back over. We'll continue the rally. Cooper on the right hand. Back row and McIntosh. A little miscommunication with Lucero. Let's see if that fires up these Cougars. Harris has some time. No rollout looking. Harris fires on the move and it's complete. Slipping one is Webskowski and another, and it's a foot race. Shot out of a cannon. Justin Webskowski. Can he take it all the way? Touchdown.
The Jaguars. There's Smith again, cuts it back. Nice run by Smith, still on his feet, going to the end zone. Touchdown.
Harris with the fake pitch, and now a run to the outside, and he's got some room. Nice move, Harris, look out. He's across the 40, a cut to midfield. He's got a blocker in front, look out. Chance Harris, shot out of a cannon, and he's gonna take it all the way. Touchdown.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am.
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Robert Portnoy, voice of the Lobos, and how about those Lobos? I mean, kind of talk. You're so realistic. I mean, it's I've known you for about 11, 12 years now, and we've gotten to be good friends. But when I listen to you on the radio, you actually have become like a coach. You speak as a coach almost, and you break down the Lobos in a positive way, and almost. I'm just saying this as a compliment. It's fun to listen to because, and then when you watch the game, you see all the things happen, and you've already heard, of players and what they're capable of doing. So kind of break the Lobos down for us a little bit.
Well,
this year.
You know what? You said it in our first segment about the receiving corps and how dangerous they are and how deep it is this year, that group of receivers. I think that this year's offense it's going to look a little different than it has in the past. Coach Davies in his 8th season, last year was kind of a transition year where they moved from the triple option attack.
Coordinator.
Correct, yeah. And you know what? Calvin McGee was the offensive coordinator a year ago. He brought in the spread option. He's gone now. But the new offensive coordinator this season, Joe Daly, has taken that offense and refined it and expanded it even more. And, who would have thought just 2 years ago that New Mexico would have 29 passes at the half in a game? That's what happened in the opener against Sam Houston with Brant Hughes quarterbacking. The Lobos threw 29 times in the first half. Now, New Mexico's offense is going to look different depending on who the quarterback is. We saw Sharon Jones come in and quarterback the second half after Brant hurt his shoulder in the first half. Sharon is better in the run-pass option. He's better in the zone read, right, or the read option. He's a really good runner, better than Brant. So you'll see more of that. And we did in the second half against Sam Houston. But we also saw some of the things that are sort of Sharon's bread and butter as a thrower, the back shoulder throw. He's really good at that. When you get one-on-one coverage isolated on the outside, on the perimeter, we have great receivers out there, even better, and he's really good at making that throw, and you saw it repeatedly. There were 3 consecutive plays I can remember where they threw back shoulder. One was to Anu Samoye, a couple of them to Aaron Molina, a local player that you and your crew know very well. He went to Valley, set records at Valley High School. He's terrific, and I just feel like that this year's offense is so much more diverse than what the Lobos have had previously with Coach Davey. And Amari Davis went nuts, his first 100-yard game rushing in his career. And I expect big things. I said before the year started, Steve, that there were 2 things I felt pretty strongly about this year. The Lobos offense would move the ball better, and the Lobos offense would score more points. And really, when you think about Coach Davey's first 6 seasons here, the teams were competitive, and then consecutive bowl years at the end of that run because of the offense. They did it differently, but that's what gave them a chance to win and kept them in games. And I think that we're back there. And then it comes down to how much can this year's defense slow down the opponent? How many stops can they get? And I thought we saw an opportunistic defense against Sam Houston in the opener.
Well, and that's why I think this game against Notre Dame is going to be competitive, because they try to run. And I think and it might be similar to that Wisconsin. I think we can stay right there with them, and if we can stop the big plays or the impact plays, which is going to be hard to do, but if they can contain those type deals, this game could be more competitive than people think.
That's a great point, Steve. And really, if you look back to the opener against Sam Houston State, New Mexico was able to do that, prevent the big play, save for one. There was one first half big hit over the top, a long pass for a touchdown. It was really the only blown coverage, the only bust in coverage for the entire game where somebody was just running free down the field. The Lobos made them march down the field in the second half, and the yardage totals, I think, are very deceiving. People say, well, look how many yards the Lobo defense gave up. Well, a lot of that came in the fourth quarter when they had 2 protracted drives after New Mexico had pushed back out to a 16-point lead, and it distorted things. New Mexico did well getting off the field on third downs. The third down conversion rate for Sam Houston was terrible. That when the Lobos defense has been at its best under Coach Davey, they were really good at that. And then New Mexico also was able to get a turnover, which was huge as well. So those things are, when the Lobos went to those consecutive bowl games and won the one bowl game against UTSA, they were doing that defensively, getting the key stops at the right times and flipping the field with turnovers, sudden change plays.
Just go back last year, and I remember Bob Davies talking on the morning show with Jeff Semiotta, and and he wasn't being successful so much in the win column, but he always kept reminding, we were 3-9, and we're actually building for this year, and it seemed that's what I'm saying about, he's excited about this team, and even this morning he was talking about, I like this team, and now the question is, the league has set the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, and can they set the bar right there with them?
Well, it's interesting too. He told me before the year started, it was actually our pregame conversation for the opener against Sam Houston. He said, I've never in my career, never, anywhere, put more into a team. There's never been more effort. There's never been more preparation. There's never been a greater investment than in this year's Lobo team. I think that he feels that it's a crucial year, obviously coming off back-to-back 3-9 seasons. And remember, those 2 seasons included 7-game losing streaks at the end of the year in conference play, and that'll leave a bad taste in your mouth. Coach Davey wants more for this year's team, wants more for the program, and wants to get it back where it was just a couple of years ago, winning a bowl game and winning 9 games. So you talked about setting the bar. The Lobos set the bar pretty high for themselves. They won 16 games over consecutive seasons. No Lobo football team had ever done that. in the program's history, in over a century of football, there had never been back-to-back seasons where the Lobos won a total of 16 games. You think about that, you know, Franchione, Rocky Long, whatever names you want to throw out there as far as, you know, former coaches, they were never able to pull that off. So, yeah, the bar was set, and he's not happy with the last 2 seasons. But if this year's season is not successful, it's not going to be for want of investment. They are all in.
Well, Robert, we're going to come back and talk more Lobo football.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Robert Portnoy, voice of the Lobos, and you know what a great morning. You know, hanging out with you, breakfast at Lindy's, and
it's like
life
old
does it
times.
left life. And Tom Dragmaster came in, and
Great to see Tom.
It's always exciting to see.
I wanted to say thank you too. You and ProView, you and Adam and ProView Network stepping up to help out UNM Lobo Athletics here at the start of the season with our TV coaches shows. Awesome.
Well, let me explain that a little bit, and you know, probably with your help, it's called. You know, I think the word is relationships that you get, and also, you know, being professional and doing what you're doing. You know, you've watched ProView from Infinity when we did
day one,
basically. When we did a show in an office, no green screen, no graphics, no anything, and you progressed and become the voice of the Lobos. But you watch. You know, we were an internet-based company. Now we're TV. Now we're on, you know, Facebook, YouTube, and you know we've gone over millions of viewers. You know, it used to I thought I'd be so excited when we got 1 million viewers. Now it's in the millions and growing on a daily rate. But for people who don't realize, we're actually going to be doing the Lobo Coaches Show, and probably wouldn't have happened without Robert Portnoy, you know, throwing a little kudos in for ProView Networks. But also, you know, I want to thank Ed Mosnaris too. At the same time, he's been, you know, a great advocate of ProView Networks.
Well, I want to tell you this: you guys earned this opportunity because of the work that you do. It wasn't something that I threw out there. They came to me and asked me about you guys, and I told everyone that asked that you would do a terrific job with it. So. Yeah,
so a little pressure on you. You know,
we'll be sitting on this set, and I'm excited. Yeah.
You know, we're going to have the first show this week, and you might speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's a terrific show. You know, the thing that I'm really excited about is it's going to get even more exposure because of ProView here at the start. Because you guys are going to be able to re-air it. It'll rebroadcast here on ProView Networks a couple of times after it airs initially on AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain. So, yeah, but it's a great show. We run through a full highlight package of the entire game. We break down the film with Coach. We usually have a feature, piece in there as well, often with an individual player, from the Lobo team. And yeah, I love it. And you know what? It's a great football show. If you're fans of Lobo football, if you're fans of the Lobos and you love the game of football, hearing the coach talk about things, and he's so amazing at taking a play and taking football terminology and making it understandable,
where you can,
making it recognizable
the common,
for the layperson. You got it, yeah, for the viewer, for the fan, and he's amazing. Now, this week is going to be Saga Tuatele, our offensive line coach and run game coordinator, who's the acting head coach. He's going to be on the show, but I'm sure down the road we'll have Coach Davey back. And yeah, it's just amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, I strongly encourage you to check it out. You're going to love it.
Well, I'm excited, and like I said, do you know the time frames it's going to be aired on AT&T yet? Or
typically it's on Thursday evenings. I don't know if it's Thursday evenings at 6 or 7, but usually right in that neighborhood is when it first airs.
And I know you're always excited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad that Bob Davies couldn't have been on the first one, but I just know that you always have a little carrot. You always throw that little carrot out to the public and to me, and so what's that little carrot there for this show? So
for this particular show,
yeah.
Oh well, the energy of the first show is always unbelievable. I mean, and I'm excited to do it with Saga for the first time. That's the uniqueness about this show, is that he'll be on set with me and doing the show as the acting head coach, and yeah, we're gonna have a blast.
Well, I'm excited because I know Jason and my crew's excited, and right now we got Josh doing Steve Davis' show, and we're all part of it, and they're up with it. But I tell you, there's going to be some new graphics, because we,
And if you want a little tease, I believe
I love that. That's what you're the best at.
Well, hopefully, this is accurate. The plan was to do our feature on Reese Wilkinson. So if that comes to fruition, he's a player that fans of ProView Networks are going to know very well. He was a standout wide receiver for Charlie Dawson at El Dorado, and he was the New Mexico Man this past week, or two Saturdays ago now in the opener against Sam Houston State. He's the guy who carried the state flag as he led the Lobos out of the tunnel from the Toadium onto the field at the start of the game. So it's a big honor, and yeah, I think we're going to feature Reese this week. So.
And that's something in your show. You always feature some players, and you always have, you always keep it entertaining for, is it, if I'm correct, the next 12 weeks? Is that correct?
Exactly right. Yeah.
And that's that's going to be 12 weeks with, and I know our guys are excited. And Jason stayed up late last night trying to, you're big with,
Oh, Jay Pole's going to do a phenomenal job.
He just
totally trust Jason. Yeah.
He is so excited to make sure that Robert's happy when we come in and do this. So I'm real curious to see how this first show comes out. I just know it's just going to get better and better.
Totally satisfied with every show that I've ever done with ProView Networks, and there are a lot of them, man. We had many years together, so yeah.
People don't realize Robert did probably the first 5 years of all the football, basketball, volleyball, almost similar to what Adam Dill's doing right there. Hey, Robert, thanks for coming on again. And
awesome, Steve. Great being with you.
Have a great year.
Thank you so much. You too.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
ABQ ER and Hospital is changing the way you see ER in Albuquerque. We promise to see each patient within 10 minutes of arrival. ABQ ER and Hospital is now offering $25 school physicals, with 100% of proceeds donated back to the schools.